Ever since EDP 445 was caught trying to get a cupcake in 2021, there have been a large number of prey catchers making content on YouTube documenting their work. While ultimately this has gotten some predators off the streets and to jail where they rightfully belong, it has also prevented other dangerous men like EDP himself from getting the proper punishment they deserve. At this point you may be asking, Xavier, is this video about predators? And the answer is, yes dummy, obviously. Join me dear viewer as I cover 5 of the most popular prey catchers at the moment and talk about their work, their overall impact, and most importantly, how they've shifted prey catching from being more about the clout/money they receive than the actual prey catching itself. Hi there. Just a short little disclaimer, if you don't like hearing about predators or talking about predators, yeah, this is your disclaimer. Alright, if you want to quit, go ahead. There's the door. You're still here? Alright, let's get to it. Starting off our list, we have Alex Rosen. If you don't know who he is, he's a racist piece of shit. But more importantly to the video, he's a racist piece of shit who founded the Houston-based group Predator Poachers in 2019. Now, the group's main tactic is creating fake dating profiles on apps like Grindr, instantly dropping their age in the chat to establish a baseline, and then forcing a real-life confrontation on camera. So basically what every prey catcher does. Now, what makes Alex so special is that he was in charge of the EDP sting operation that exposed EDP in the first place, way back in April 2021. He's also the reason EDP never faced any charges. Typically, when it comes to these sting operations, the first step is making the account, right? And the second step is having the predator message said account and start a conversation. The important thing to note is the predator has to message the account first. It can't be the other way around because then it gets labeled entrapment, meaning they got tricked or pushed into breaking the law when they would normally not do so. So the minute 13-year-old Sophie Smith messaged EDP first, none of the evidence could be used, meaning everything that is there, all the evidence, all the chat logs, everything, even the shit pics, could not be used as evidence to charge him. What I'm trying to get at here is that Alex Rosen fucked up big time. Because if a competent prey catcher had been doing this operation, EDP 445 would be in jail right now. But because it was dumbass Alex Rosen, EDP is a free man. Granted, EDP's life still got ruined even after not getting charged, but you get the point. And you might be wondering what Alex Rosen's been up to since then, right? Well, I'll tell you. First up, we have his March 2025 Steak and Shake arrest. On March 26, 2025, Rosen entered a Steak and Shake in Branson, Missouri to confront an employee named Joshua Teague. When the restaurant manager asked him to leave, he refused, leading employees to report that they were scared by his aggressive, intimidating approach. So then he ends up getting arrested and charged with felony first-degree harassment alongside misdemeanor trespassing and peace disturbance. While he was in jail, Rosen literally described his actions to a reporter as a kamikaze mission, prioritizing the explosive confrontation over a clean investigation. Eventually, in August of that same year, he took a plea deal, receiving 2 years of unsupervised probation for a misdemeanor peace disturbance charge, and was legally banned from entering any Steak and Shake properties. Now, I'm gonna let y'all in on something. Steak and Shake is one of my favorite restaurants of all time. I can't even imagine not being able to go to Steak and Shake and get a cotton candy milkshake or a garlic burger. So it's like, damn, he got banned from every damn location? That's tough, dog. And how can we forget the Chud the Builder situation, which literally only happened like a few months ago? For those of you not familiar with Chud the Builder, let me give you a spark notes. Dalton Eferly, also known as Chud the Builder, is a controversial far-right streamer who is famously known for posting derogatory rage-bait content in which he antagonized random black people with racial slurs and threats of violence unprovoked. On May 13, 2026, he was arrested for attempted murder on a black man named Joshua Fox, stemming from an incident outside of Montgomery County Courthouse in Tennessee. Now, guess what Alex Rosen did, guys? He made an appearance at Eferly's court hearing where he took to the witness stand and presented bank records as well as Cash App documents to the court, telling them he was willing to put up $100,000 toward his bond. He then proceeded to publicly donate $10,000 toward Chud the Builder's bail, claiming it was because he supports free speech. So yeah, you can see why I don't like Alex Rosen now. He's a piece of shit. Like, genuinely just a racist piece of shit. Now, here's the thing. I can't fault Alex Rosen for catching predators. I'm sure he does a great job at doing so. But you see, this is my problem with Alex Rosen. He's not known for catching predators. I mean, he does catch predators and people know about it, but that's not what he's famous for, you know? He's famous for botching one of the biggest sting operations in prey catcher history. On top of that, he's also known for being a racist piece of shit who has said the N-word multiple times, mind you, hard R, and the joke here is that he worked with black predator catchers like Jidion to catch predators, right? Meanwhile, he was still doing this racist ass shit and supporting these racist ass people at the same fucking time. The point I'm trying to make is that no matter how much good Alex Rosen does with his prey catching, he's always going to be known as the racist piece of shit that let EDP get away. And keep in mind, the reason the EDP operation didn't get posted earlier was because he wanted to make sure the video was fully monetized. What a fucking goober. And the same money he makes from prey catching is the same money he used to pay off Chud the Builder's bond. Fucking goober. So the main takeaway I have from guys like Alex Rosen is that even with all the good prey catchers do, it doesn't change the fact that some of these prey catchers are just horrible people when it's all said and done. I mean, you can argue that most of these guys are just doing it for the money or the clout, or both. Which brings me to my next subject, Jidion. Out of all the prey catchers we're covering today, Jidion happens to be the most polarizing, I feel. It's either you already loved him for his prank videos or because he's catching predators, or on the other hand, you don't like him because he makes a fucking joke out of it, or he's trolling too much, or you think he's just doing it for content only. Me personally, I feel like it's somewhere in the middle. I do think Jidion cares about catching these preds and getting them off the streets, but on the other hand, sometimes he just does too much. The first example is the Kayla Hoskins situation involving EDP. You know, if you've seen the EDP documentary, you should know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, then basically Jidion encouraged 15-year-old Kayla Hoskins to keep talking to EDP even after learning that she was talking to EDP. Mind you, the only reason EDP was able to contact her in the first place was because Jidion invited EDP to his Discord to do an interview with him. And the interview didn't happen because EDP wanted money for it. So then yeah, he basically got invited to Jidion's Discord for no fucking reason whatsoever. Now there's a lot of allegations going around on both sides saying Kayla said Jidion told her to do this, Jidion told Kayla to stop talking to him or to not do this or that. It's a lot going around, you know? Me personally, I feel like some of the allegations Kayla's bringing up against Jidion are just cap. But for the most part, Jidion was definitely in the wrong for having her continue to talk to a dangerous man like EDP 445. And it was all for nothing because Jidion and Skeeter didn't even do a sting operation like they were supposed to. All they did was pull up to his dialysis treatment center and start asking him questions. And obviously, he didn't give a shit. He walked right in the fucking center, and then like an hour later, he walked out and went home. It was a fucking clown show that didn't even feel like they were trying to catch EDP to begin with. It just felt like, oh, let's make some more content off of this dangerous man. I mentioned Skeeter, so let me talk about him for a little bit. First of all, Skeeter is, and I quote, a Chris Hansen impersonator. What the fuck are we doing? Like, it's one thing if you're inspired by Chris Hansen, but it's a whole different thing to be calling yourself a Chris Hansen impersonator. Like, is this supposed to be a joke or some shit? You're catching predators. There's nothing funny about that, man. I'm not saying Skeeter doesn't do a good job at catching preds. I'm simply saying that him and Jidion fall in the same fucking boat. It's genuinely hard for me to take them seriously sometimes because of their antics. The whole squatter situation that happened a couple months ago in Woodhaven, Michigan is a great example of this. Mind you, the mission was simply to get him out of the house. And once they did that, they should have stopped streaming, right? But here's the thing, they didn't. They kept following him around to multiple locations. And eventually, Jidion's stupid ass got arrested at McDonald's for trying to send 2 underage children inside the McDonald's to see if he was in there or not. Obviously, this whole situation was dumb as hell, but I'll give them this. They took accountability for their actions. But at the same time, it never should have escalated to this point to begin with. But as for Skeeter, I don't know how to feel about him. I don't hate him. I also don't love him. He's just there. I think the work he's been doing is really good. I just wish he would stop trying to do all this extra shit, you know? Just focus on the pred catching. Don't be doing this troll shit, you know? Just stop. Just fucking stop. Now back to Jidion. I think Jidion is very much a troll. I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm just saying it in general. He's a professional troll, meaning sometimes even when his intentions are good, he just does too fucking much. And every time, it's not even for the sake of catching the predator or doing some actual good. It's just for content and or clickbait or clip farming. Now, do I think Jidion needs to stop doing pred catching? No. I think what he's doing is good. He clearly has good intentions while doing it. He just needs to lock the fuck in. And for anyone still hating on him for all that bullshit that happened earlier, it's already over with, man. He apologized apologized for it, he took accountability, just let it go, alright? Now, granted, if he pulls some more bullshit in the future, I'll be the first to get on his ass. But as of now, he hasn't done anything, so let's just chill on him for now, alright? Now let's talk about Schlep. Whereas most prey catchers' motivation is usually just because they want to make money, or because they want to get clout, or because they just genuinely feel like doing it for the love of the game, Schlep stands out from all these guys purely because he's doing it for a very personal reason. From the age of 10 to 15 years old, Schlep was actively groomed on Roblox by a popular developer. This led to him making an attempt on his life, which then his mother reached out to Roblox in desperation, and Roblox did jack shit. So fast forward, when Schlep is older, he makes his own series on YouTube catching predators on Roblox, doing it by the book like every prey catcher, right? He's catching them in the act, he's sending the evidence to the police and Roblox, mind you, but Roblox refused to do anything about them. Okay, even when they got convicted and charged with these crimes, Roblox refused to ban them or do any form of punishment whatsoever. And last year, Roblox really took a hit PR-wise when they banned Schlep from the platform, like all of his accounts, just banned them all, and then sent a cease and desist letter to him. Now you might be thinking, there's no way they banned the guy who's catching predators instead of the actual predators themselves, right? Well, you know, I see news every day about these big companies being pieces of shit, just genuinely not giving a fuck about the people actually using their products and our platforms. But this right here takes the cake. I mean, you have a guy who's literally investing his time and energy and money into catching predators on your platform, and what do? You fucking ban him for it? What the hell y'all doing? Like, I know it's been said over and over again how Roblox is a piece of shit company and how they don't actually care about regulating these bad people, but genuinely, every time I see this story, it pisses me the fuck off. As someone that used to play Roblox every day after school, and as someone who has a little brother that plays Roblox, it's just genuinely sad seeing Roblox fail to protect kids in the worst fucking way possible. If you had asked me a year ago, I probably would have said that Roblox just needs to do a full overhaul on their staff. But at this point, with everything Roblox has done since banning Schlep, yeah, no, just terminate the entire goddamn company. I'm sick of them. If you can't do right by your player base with all the resources you have at your fucking disposal, you have no business being in business. But back to Schlep, I genuinely respect him with all my heart, because from day one, he wasn't doing it for any other reason other than wanting to make Roblox a better place for kids. He truly is doing God's work, and I will never have anything bad to say about him. Alright, all these other guys, I have bad things to say about them, but that's mostly because I don't know where their true intentions lie with doing this kind of content. But Schlep, no, never. With all that being said, Schlep is definitely the platinum standard when it comes to prey catching. However, when it comes to the GOAT conversation, there's only one name you can say. My boy, Chris Hansen. That's right, we're finally at Chris Hansen. This guy is literally the face of prey catching, man. Like, anytime you see prey catching, or anytime you hear about prey catching, anytime somebody even mentions the word predator, you're probably thinking of Chris Hansen. All of these prey catchers you see nowadays, they're all using Chris Hansen's playbook. Success may vary. So if I had a doubt, as a prey catcher, Chris Hansen is the diamond standard. With all this being said, I just have one question for Chris Hansen. What made him want to do prey catching to begin with? Keep in mind, Chris Hansen wasn't using YouTube. He was on Dateline NBC with this shit. And a lot of people have different opinions on his style of interrogation, with some people saying it's predatory. And as I looked into it, it didn't seem like he was doing it for a personal reason either. So it all comes down to this. Was Chris Hansen catching preds because he genuinely wanted to put them behind bars? Or was he catching them because of the attention it gave him? And I think for Chris Hansen at least, it definitely came down to both. If you watch some of his pred catches, you can genuinely see the fear in these predators' eyes when he walks in the fucking room. Like, they were genuinely scared of this motherfucker, like he was the boogeyman. You can't tell me he didn't feel some type of way about that. And I feel as if that's what it comes down to for a lot of these pred catchers. Like, they are doing a good service, but at the same time, they're also getting a fuck ton of attention from it. Hopefully the primetime movie explores this theme of morality versus gratification, which I feel like it will to an extent, but it's really just a wait and see thing, I guess. I want to clarify, I'm not calling Chris Hansen an attention whore. I'm simply presenting an idea of what I think his reasons are for doing pred catching in the first place. Alright, time for my final thoughts. At the end of the day, pred catching is good, obviously. On top of that, I'm not upset that pred catchers are making money off this shit. I mean, these guys have families to take care of, bills to pay, cars to pay off. They gotta make money somehow. That's not my issue with pred catching. My issue is when the need for content or clout overrides the need for actual justice. When a guy like Jidion is ambushing EDP 445 in a fucking cupcake outfit, that is when we have lost the plot on pred catching and what it's supposed to be for. It's not purely for content. It's not to make jokes. It's not to troll. It's to get these dangerous men off the streets. So when some of these prank catchers lose the plot, it genuinely makes me upset. And it makes prank catching as a whole look like one big clown show. So my final message for anyone who wants to be a prank catcher, or for people that support prank catchers, I want you to ask yourself, what is this all for? And if you can't give a good answer, pack your bags, you're going to the gulag. Thank you for watching my TED Talk. This has been Xavier Rants coming at you with Rants. Like and sub if you enjoyed the video. If you want to put a comment, put it in the comment section, and everything else can be found at this link in description. Other than that, have a good night and a brand new day.